Are you ready for the weekend?
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up and so are we. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell. International.
Entertainment now on UME Radio, WUMEDB New York. This show takes you beyond the music, dance, box office and thrills. For deeper and more meaningful insights into the minds and hearts of the players. We share stories about pop culture, celebrities, and everything entertainment, but with education and empowerment in mind. It's all about positive entertainment. Here is today's hot topic.
In today's Hot Topic, Deadline reports, Spotify's Joe Rogan used N-word 24 times in videos, leading India Arie to pull music. Grammy-winning singer-songwriter, India Arie, has posted clips yesterday, February 5th, to Instagram, showing Spotify host Joe Rogan using the N-word, a situation which she claimed led her to withdraw her music from the streamer. The resurfaced clips, which were posted on YouTube at one time, were used to explain Arie's decision. She also called on followers to delete Spotify and used the hashtag. She followed that up with clips of Rogan using the racial slur, which Rogan used 24 times in the 23 clips. The slurs predate his $100 million deal with Spotify in 2020. He shouldn't even be uttering the word, Arie said. Don't even say it, under any context. Don't say it. That's where I stand. I have always stood there. Arie joined several musicians and podcasters who have pulled their content from Spotify. Most cited the alleged misinformation Rogan was providing on the pandemic in his podcast. Spotify has since backed Rogan's right to free speech, although it said it would monitor and warn customers about the potentially problematic content. I empathize with the people who are leaving for the COVID disinformation reasons, and I think that they should. I also think that Joe Rogan has the right to say whatever he wants to say, Arie said. I also think that I have the right to say whatever I want to say. She added that she didn't want to help generate money that funds Rogan, so she was therefore removing herself from the platform. Just take me off. That's where I'm at. She about to kill it. Atlanta Black Star released news. Fantasia shares she will be portraying the role of Celie in the Color Purple musical. Fantasia Barrino announced on Thursday, February 3rd, that she has been cast as the lead role in the upcoming musical remake of The Color Purple. This news came after Oprah Winfrey unveiled the entire cast during ABC News' Soul of a Nation series. The Color Purple, based on Alice Walker's 1982 novel, follows the life of the character Celie, portrayed by Whoopi Goldberg, as she struggles to find her identity after encountering abuse from her father and other individuals within 30 years. The film premiered in 1985 and also starred Oprah Winfrey, Danny Glover, and Margaret Avery. As I sit tonight and reflect on the journey my life has taken, I believe I now understand what redemption truly feels like. The last time I stepped into this character, the similarities between what I portrayed on stage and what I experienced in my own reality were too close for comfort. I've learned since then that my pain was only an introduction to a greater purpose of meaning and assignment, the singer stated. The Color Purple musical will also star Coleman Domingo, Halle Bailey, Taraji P. Henson, Corey Hawkins, Her, and Danielle Brooks. The film, which Oprah Winfrey will produce, is slated to be released in December 2023. Congratulations are in order for Rihanna. The gang is in multiple babies. Rihanna's pregnancy post on Instagram has fans questioning if she's having twins. Atlanta Black Star, in a post online, shared that the couple announced the pregnancy while in New York on January 31st. The 33-year-old and A$AP Rocky revealed the news by posing for pictures while the singer showed off her bare and bejeweled baby belly. We are happy for the couple and wish them all the best.
Reports website released an article under the title, "The Black Press, Past and Present." The following are excerpts from that article. The Black Press's history. The U.S. Black Press is 176 years old this year. It began in 1827 when John Russwurm and Samuel Cornish started Freedom's Journal in New York. By the Civil War, 40 black newspapers were being published. And, during the 1920s and 30s, when major papers virtually ignored Black America, the glory days of the black press began. Back then, major papers usually wouldn't even run African American obituaries. Black papers became the primary means of group expression and main community service outlet, reporting on job opportunities and retailers that didn't discriminate, and covering charity events in uplifting society pages, with big pictures of smiling, dignified black people enjoying each other's company. Politics, sports, money and social issues were reported from the perspective of black readers. The careers of Lena Horne, Little Richard, Paul Robeson, and many other entertainment greats were promoted in their early stages before major media took notice, and editorial writers crusade for open housing, quality schools, voting rights, fair employment and equal accommodations, demands that later formed the civil rights agenda. There were byline stories from America's leading black activists and intellects, Richard Wright, Gwendolyn Brooks, and Langston Hughes in the Chicago Defender, and W.E.B. Du Bois, Zora Neale Hurston, Marcus Garvey, and Elijah Muhammad in the Pittsburgh Courier. Black publishers grew rich and powerful. Robert S. Abbott started the Defender with $13.75 and became one of America's first black millionaires. By 1929, the Defender circulation was 230,000 a week, but the Pittsburgh Courier was the biggest, topping 300,000, with 15 editions across the country. In 1932, Courier publisher Robert L. Van Abbott and others steered black voters en masse to the Democratic Party, breaking traditional ties to the Republican Party of Abraham Lincoln and helping to elect Franklin D. Roosevelt president. Gunnar Myrdal's landmark 1944 study, An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem and Modern Democracy, said the strongest, most influential institution among blacks was its crusading press. It set the stage for, and helped engineer, monumental change, from school desegregation in 1954, to the Voting Rights Bill of 1957, the marches, sit-ins and civil rights legislation of 1964. By the Black Power era, the formerly cutting-edge medium was considered powerless. The black press was considered, at best, a farm team for major dailies, which recruited top black journalists to cover the civil rights movement, and eventually attracted readers and advertisers once considered the black press's captive market. Conventional wisdom by the 1980s was that the black press, by doing such a bang-up job promoting racial equality, had made itself obsolete. The black press today. In reality, racism remains a major obstacle to black progress in America today. 40 years after the March on Washington, Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream is still unachieved, and the black press is still on the case. The NNPA, founded in 1940, has kept the professional house in order, promoting journalism excellence as an alternative media industry. Its NNPA News Service supplies government and foreign affairs coverage to member publications and distributes nationally the local stories they originate. Here is an article released on Medium.com, titled, Part 1, A Brief History of Black-Owned News Media, June 8, 2020. A 2019 report, African American Media Today, compiled by the Obsidian Collection for Democracy Fund, traces the arc of the black press in the U.S. It starts with the first black-owned and operated newspaper, Freedom's Journal, founded in 1827 to advocate for the abolition of slavery. The journal was an outlet for black people to advocate for themselves. As its first issue declared, "We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us." Historians estimate that over 500 black newspapers would go on to spring up in the 35 years between 1865 and the start of the 20th century. These publications challenged what had been taken as objective news by mainstream newspapers, which were by and large by white writers and editors and for white audiences. The black press was never intended to be objective, because it didn't see the white press being objective. Phyllis Garland, the first African American and first woman tenured professor at Columbia's journalism school, said in PBS's film on the black press, "It often took a position. It had an attitude. This was a press of advocacy. There was news, but the news had an admitted and a deliberate slant." For example, the Oklahoma Eagle, a black-owned weekly in Tulsa, aims to keep the memory of the 1921 Tulsa massacre, in which white mobs killed 300 black people and forced thousands to flee, alive. The massacre was mostly ignored by the city's mainstream newspapers, one of which only wrote about it, for the first time 50 years after the massacre occurred. Black newspapers more generally were instrumental to pulling African Americans together, after slavery, into cohesive communities, according to historian Christopher Reed. The Democracy Fund report cites examples of the essential role newspapers played in historical events, from tackling Hollywood's derogatory depictions of African Americans in 1914, to fueling the Great Migration to the North after World War II. The black press also had a significant reach. By 1929, the most popular, the Pittsburgh Courier, had a weekly circulation of over 300,000, according to Neiman reports. Most of these were from single-copy sales, and many issues were passed around, so readership was likely much higher. 60 years later, magazines had also established an audience. Ebony, for example, reached 1.7 million homes in 1985, amounting to over 40% of African American adults, more than any other general interest magazine, during that time. Today, the article continues, 205 publications are members of NNPA, the trade organization that represents black press in the U.S. Like the rest of the industry, for whom ad revenue decreased from $60 billion to $20 billion from 2000 to 2015, declining ad revenue has also impacted black newspapers. According to Pew, paid and free print circulation has also declined, with most relying on subscription rather than newsstand sales.
Ebony is one piece of a larger vision developed and promoted by the Johnson Publishing Company. My company. My name is John H. Johnson. When my wife Eunice and I started our company in 1942, most images of blacks in the mainstream media were of criminals and caricatures. Or even worse, there were no images of African Americans at all. We were invisible. An entire group of Americans ignored and dismissed. I wanted to change that. My vision was to build a business that provided people, specifically African Americans, with products and services that offered recognition, respect, success. In 1945, I created Ebony Magazine to provide the positive black images we wanted to see and others needed to see.
When I see a barrier, I cry and I curse, and then I get a ladder and climb over it. That is a quote from John H. Johnson, founder of Johnson Publishing Company. Founded, 1942. Entrepreneur.com released a feature on Johnson, the voice of Black America, on October 10, 2008. It shares the story of the media owner, which we'd like to share with you today. John H. Johnson rose from poverty to become one of the world's most influential media pioneers by creating the largest black-owned publishing company in the United States. But more important, through the landmark magazines he founded, Ebony and Jet, Johnson gave African Americans a voice and a face, and, in his words, a new sense of somebodyness, of who they were and what they could do at a time when blacks were virtually invisible in mainstream American culture. Johnson credits much of his success to his mother. Born in Arkansas City, Arkansas, Johnson's father died when he was only 6, forcing everyone in his family to work to survive. "I was a working child," he explains to Jim Hoskins, author of Black Stars, African American Entrepreneurs. "I learned how to work before I learned how to play." Johnson and his mother arrived in Chicago in 1933. It was the middle of the Great Depression, and due to lack of work, they were forced to rely on welfare for 2 years. That experience shamed Johnson and sparked in him a burning desire to succeed. "Both my mother and I were determined that we weren't going to stay on welfare," Johnson explains. "We always worked toward doing better, toward having a better life. We never had any doubts that we would." In 1942, he founded Johnson Publishing Company and set out to publish his first magazine, Negro Digest. But when the 24-year-old tried to find a bank that would lend him money, he was waved away by bankers who contemptuously called him boy. Undaunted, Johnson decided to go directly to the public for startup money. Putting up his mother's furniture as collateral, Johnson borrowed $500, which he used to mail out offers to Supreme Life's 20,000 policyholders for discount charter subscriptions. 3,000 people sent in the $2 annual subscription, giving Johnson $6,000 to pursue his dream. Inspired by his success, Johnson started his second magazine, Ebony, in 1945. Ebony and Johnson showed that blacks led successful middle-class lives, which played a major role in convincing white corporations to advertise in the black media, as well as persuading advertisers to use black models. Johnson discontinued Negro Digest in 1950. He would revive it 10 years later as Black World and started an advice magazine called Tan. By 1971, Johnson had changed the title of Tan to Black Stars and expanded its editorial content to include features on black entertainers. The following year, he began publishing it as a pocket-sized weekly under the name Jet. After Jet, Johnson branched out into other projects, including a book division, a book club, and a high-end cosmetics line for blacks. He also purchased 2 radio stations, making him the first African American in Chicago to own a broadcasting outlet. In addition to his own ventures, Johnson became a major shareholder in Essence, a magazine for black women. Like many entrepreneurs, John H. Johnson built a multi-million-dollar empire by recognizing a demand and filling it. Few will argue that John H. Johnson played a major role in the civil rights movement during the 1960s. A former Johnson Publishing advertising executive, Ronald Sampson, explained in an interview in Chicago Magazine, the general news media was covering it as a confrontation. Ebony and Jet were inside the churches and were able to tell what went on in the meetings.
I have always been a great reader of black newspapers. And black newspapers have always had the goal of getting rid of race prejudice, of calling to the attention of black people all of the mistreatments that are going on around the country and around the world. I got tired of reading about that all the time. I wanted to be happy some of the time. And I thought I wanted a magazine that would not try to do what they were doing, which they do exceedingly well, but a magazine that would deal with the positive things in life. Magazines that would deal with things that people are proud of, with successes. That would, so people in one city could see the success of people in another city and would be inspired to do better in their own city. So Ebony is a magazine devoted to making people feel good, making people proud of their heritage. First time I ever saw a black person in print in a tuxedo was in Ebony. First time I ever saw a black wedding was in Ebony. So we have tried to cover some of the difficulties, but at the end of the day to say, I want to feel good about myself.
We're entering a point in time where media is defining who we are. It's defining who we are to people who don't know us, who don't meet us, and have in-depth interactions with us on a regular basis. And it's also defining who we are to other people. The exciting thing about this, though, is that we're also entering a time where we have a lot more control over the media that defines us and defines the other people and cultures of the world. We're entering a time where we're all media makers. We're all taking on the power and the agency to create media in profound ways. I mean, that's basically what we're all doing here at TED today. We're creating media to provoke human thought in a sophisticated and challenging way. So I feel like we all have the responsibility as media makers to create things that challenge us to think in a more sophisticated fashion and can help us evolve in our thinking, which I think is a major step in human evolution.
And now for today's spotlight. UMERADIO was originally founded in 2009. Back then, it was called Advanced Media Production. After winning first place in the Jamaica Broilers Fair Play Awards, the company ceased operations around 2012. In December 2018, the company was rebranded and brought back into operations with new ownership, and in February 2019, it launched its first radio station, UMERADIO, under the call sign WUME-DD, New York. UMERADIO is a digital radio station owned and operated by UME Digital Media Inc., a digital studio and multimedia company headquartered in Bronx, New York. Our brands are committed to inspiring, educating, and entertaining people through transformative and empowering content. Our mission is to reach 1 million households, touch 1 million lives, and showcase 1 million brands. Get the UMERADIO app for the full experience, available via your Apple and Google Play stores. If you want to listen on the web, you may go to app.umeradio.com or via our website at www.umeradio.com. Our content can be watched on Carib Vision. You can also listen in via Amazon Music, iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Podbean, TuneU, Live 365, Spotify, Stitcher Player, FM Listen Notes. For all business inquiries, contact us at info@umeradio.com. This station is 100% community funded. To support us, please visit umeradio.com/get involved. Subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere online at UMERADIO. Thank you for supporting us. UMERADIO, positive entertainment 24/7.
Apostle Dr. Faith Walters and my support person here, Sister Marilyn Happen, who has been helping me to put these packages together for the community. And she helped me on a monthly basis.
Apostle Dr. Faith Walters received the call from the Lord to begin a ministry that would empower individuals for success in the kingdom of God. Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries is located in Mount Vernon, New York, and online at wamo.org. For over 2 decades, this ministry has been instrumental in helping the community overcome its challenges. And this year, the movement continued.
And I'm so grateful to God that she's here right now. So We are putting a package together. We're taking things out of packages, putting them together in baskets, so as to set up what we're going to do to put together the things for the community.
Really appreciate Dr. Faith Walters to have me as her assistant in getting her community bags together for, our community. And when she goes out to give it out, they always look forward to see her coming out. It's a monthly thing she does, and she really likes it.
I love it.
I love coming to help her. You know, I always, even in my busy schedule, I come out and I support her.
On January 11th, the first outreach drive was executed and was a massive success.
We are here one more time in the new year. I must say before I go on, Happy New Year to everyone once again. So I'm just excited about what God is doing for this new year. I'm excited about what He's done already and what He's about to do for you and for basically all of us. And we just thank God we're here one more time, and we did the final piece to our community outreach drive. We completed a package, and we will be giving out these packages on tomorrow, Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 at 34-56 East 3rd Street in Mount Vernon, New York. The times are from 2 p.m. till 3:30 until supplies last. So I am praying that people will come as quickly as possible, because it's going to be kind of cold, but as God continues to lead, we continue to bless the community, especially in this time where so many families are in need of support in some way, shape, or form. So if God put on your heart to bless families or bless a neighbor, whatever it is, just allow the Lord to lead you. So we are just thankful that we can do this on a monthly basis. And we pray that, that you allow the Lord to move on your heart, to be a monthly person to send donations to the ministry to help in this process, in this cause. And, because helping our community is such a powerful thing. And, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you do it once a month, twice a month, it's fine as long as you're doing something, so that's a powerful thing. So we're just grateful to the Lord today that we were able to do this. So you could go to our website at wamoe.org. And I would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're looking for as many subscribers as possible. And when you go to YouTube, put in wamoministries@gmail.com, and you will see you see me in the red outfit, and you just press that subscribe button, and we thank you in advance.
Here is a list of upcoming outreach drives by this ministry. Tuesday, February 8th. Tuesday, March 8th. Tuesday, April 12th. This is a monthly initiative, funded by Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries. Here is how you can help. Visit www.wamo.org/give, where you can give a one-time donation or a monthly donation.
Let's go. This is Apostle Faith. I'm on Prospect Avenue in Mount Vernon. I just finished up 34 East, 56th Street, giving out packages. So I'm over here, and I met, what's your name?
Miss Doris Payton Jackson.
Okay, and she was really excited about getting one of the packages. She has the children's package, but she also has the other package too.
For the adults.
For the adults. Take that up. Yes, so we got the, okay,
you got it?
Yes, so she has the adult package as well, so she's very excited.
Which is really helpful and needy around these times.
Yes.
I'm glad she was here. I bypassed, I came back, and this smile has been on my face. God bless this woman and anything she has done.
Praise God. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Okay, and You just enjoy your day and have a happy new year.
Likewise.
Okay, bye-bye.
Your donations will help to ensure that this initiative expands to reach even more people in need.